John, Father's Day is coming up and we need to find some great fabrics to show our customers.
Well, that's a great idea. And that's always a question that we're getting asked about is, what quilts can I make for guys?
Well, keep watching.
Hi, I'm John Nossel with Fabric Cafe.
And I'm Donna Robertson.
And we have got a great show for you today for all of those special dads in your life that you really have a hard time finding those great fabrics for. And we got some fantastic fabrics in.
We looked and looked and looked, and you are going to be so impressed with what we've found. And I think you should start off because this first kit reminds me a teeny tiny bit, or maybe a whole lot of you.
Well, a lot of the guys in your, life.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
It fits with them. So let's get started with our first one. And our first pattern that we're going to be focusing on today is Roman Holiday. And this is a great one because we've got this nice big focus fabric block in it and this great contrast in the little secondary block that we have in that. So let's put that up on the table. And like you said, this is an awesome fabric. A lot of y'all out there know that I'm into motorcycles. I ride when the weather permits. And I think this is a gorgeous fabric. I might actually have to grab one of these for myself.
Well, you know what Robert says. He tells his friends that he still has his first love, and he's not talking about me.
That's right.
He still has the motorcycle that he bought in 1963.
Yeah, something like that. He's got a great Norton Commander, and he is lovingly refurbished that. So let's look at this fabric. We've got this great cruiser on this fabric, and it's a great V-twin. So all of you guys out there that have those great Harleys or some of those other bigger roadster type bikes, this would be a great one for them. We're going to have that motorcycle fabric up in here in this big block, so you'll really have a lot of that. And this is a great tossed fabric too, so you're not going to have to worry about those directionals. And then I love this second fabric that we've got. This red is going to be a great fabric because it's got these little tire skid marks on it, almost like some of the kids do now in parking lots and stuff where they're burning out with their their crotch rocket bikes and all of these weird things.
What do you mean now? I think that kids always like to lay rubber on them.
That's true. And hey, all of the guys out here understand that, because a bunch of us were motorheads when we were in their early 20s and all of that. We've loved
Makes you feel manly, doesn't it?
This is such a great show because we've got all of that stuff in this show today. So we've got that red that's going to be actually in our background here. So we're going to have the motorcycles, those tire treads, and then we've got this great little geometric on this black fabric that's going to be out here where all of our reds are out here on our sides in the borders.
Does that kind of look like skid, what do they call it?
Skid plate?
Yeah.
A little bit. It's almost like a little bit of a mesh. It's almost like a protective jacket that you might be wearing while you're out cruising around on your great bike. So this one is called Ride Free, and it's we have that Roman Holiday in there from the Quick as a Wink book. Well, we've got a great alternative too of Town Square.
Ooh, that would look good.
That also has a really nice geographic step on it, and it looks really neat with that. So that's a great one, and that number is 8022169. You can find that up on fabriccafe.com.
One of the reasons that I really like the fact that you're here to help me with this is because when you said something about V-twin or something. V-twin,
right.
Well, it's really nice to know that I wouldn't know to go in and say, I need something with V-twins on it.
There you go.
Okay, the next one up is Tic Tac. Tic Tac is, now you see all these flowers. Now we already know that we don't make flowers for men, but we've got some more great fabric. We just want you to see the quilt made up, and this one is great. You can actually use 2 focus fabrics if you have them, and really they'll stand out with that sashing included. So let's put that up here, and sure enough, we've got some great fabric.
This is a great one because all of our dads are known for doing those weekend projects and different things like that, and I know how some of you wives out there going like, I wished he would finish that project. But this is another great one, and I love this one, this pattern also because it is that 2 focus fabric, so you can really have a lot of focus with that.
Well, an interesting thing about Robert is that he is not happy unless he is building something. So there's lots of things in here. So if I say, I wished you'd finish that project, all it means is he's going to start another one very soon because he likes to build things. So we have our 2 focus fabrics, so we'll talk about that. And as we've said so many times, the focus fabrics are the ones that you want to look at the most. And we've written the pattern so that that will go in the #1 spot for the pattern. So here's your focus fabric, and it's going to go in this section here. And then the #2 fabric is, you compare these two, and you come up with the dark for #3 and the lightest of those two for the #2 position. This is going to go here. So we're going to have two great focus fabrics, and they are going to be bordered by this brown that's going to go here, here, and here. So this is a great one, and it is called Home Improvement. It's Tic Tac Pattern from the Easy Peasy book, and it's 8022170.
So that's a really neat one. Our next one is also a fun one. We're getting a little bit more patriotic because I know a lot of our guys out there have served in the military, and thank you for that service. So this one is called Hopscotch, and it's a really fun one with all of these red, whites, and blues. We've got pickup trucks, dogs, flags. What could be more guy than this? So let's set this one up here and look at this fabric. So, like I said, this is a really fun one. We've got these little patriotic dogs in here. Look like maybe a black lab or something like that in this. And that's going to be in here where we've got our reds in this. And while this does look like a really difficult pattern with all of these little intricate parts, you know, keep in mind that we do strip method with all of ours. So you're going to be cutting out that width of fabric of strips and putting those all together so it goes together really quick, despite it looking complicated. So keep that in mind. So don't be afraid of some of these if you're a newer quilter. And then our second fabric is this gorgeous little old, probably early 70s, late 60s style pickup truck, again with another nice blue star on there, giving it a very patriotic feel. I love that. And that's in our #2 position. And then we've got this great blue with the white stars on it as our #3 position out here on the border and in there. So you get just this gorgeous contrast within this. And that's really an important feature about quilting is getting that contrast in there so you can see the design and the love that you've put into it.
And when you pick the right pattern, it makes it look like you worked hard.
It does.
You didn't.
And this is a great kit. It's called All American. Its number is 8022092. Again, we're using that hopscotch pattern. So that's a really fun one. And that hopscotch pattern can also be found in our Quilt Favorite book.
All right. Now this pattern is a lot of fun too. This one's called Sweet Times, and where earlier I showed you Tic Tac that you use 2 focus fabrics. In this quilt, you use 1 focus fabric in the big block, and that gives you an opportunity to really show off a fabric that you fall in love with, and you're going to fall in love with this next fabric. And each one of these squares are bordered by secondary colors. So let's take a look. Is this not just stunning?
This is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I grew up in the time frame where we're thinking about the moon and space and, you know, Star Trek and Star Wars and all of this stuff. So many dads out there are really, you know, kind of that sci-fi, even just fascinated with space and everything. I think this is an awesome for that one. Well,
let me tell you about this man. So I invite him out to last summer, and we were at the lake, and we were out on the dock, and he pulls out his phone, and he has an app that shows him what's up there in the sky.
Oh, it's great. It's one of those augmented reality apps on my phone, and I can point it around and just point at all of the different stars, and it's telling me what the names are. I love that app. It's so much fun, and being really nerdy that I am with looking at space and stuff, it even tells you where the ISS is right now, so you can follow that along if it's going across the sky, which is a whole lot of fun.
It's amazing. So this is going to go in this large block here, and we do have a rendering of this so that you can see what it looks like, so keep watching for that. We're going to border this with 1 of these strips. That would be here. And then this is the second strip that's going to go here. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but they actually have some artwork that they're selling now that are photos of the galaxies and everything, and they're picking up all these incredible colors, and you can actually buy artwork for that.
Well, I think this is neat fabric because it's very real life. I mean, we literally have the Earth on here. We have Saturn, we have Jupiter, and all of that. So I think they did a really good job with this. So it can be even maybe for those younger guys in your life that's wanting to do maybe a, you know, which planet is Earth, and they can point at that. So,
right.
You know,
it is
that's a
gorgeous.
fun one.
Okay, so this one is called Out of This World. Sweet Times is the pattern, Easy Peasy is the book, and the kit number is 8022171.
So our next one is going to be a really nice one. It's called Pinwheel, and if you've never done these half square triangles to form one of these pinwheels, it's actually a lot easier than it looks. And this is a great one because it is a little bit more earth tones. So if you've got that dad that's into the outdoors and all of that, so we'll put that up here on the table. And I think this is a really neat one for that. So it's a little bit, more of a subdued design. So if you've got, that great man cave in the house for watching TV and the football games, this might be something that's a little bit nicer for that. So this is a great one. We've got this great brown with these blues on it. It's a very, organic design on it. So if your guy likes gardening, maybe this would be a great one for him. So we've got that. And this is a neat design with the pinwheel pattern. It actually has our focus fabric out here on the border. So it allows you to be able to focus on that out there. And then our number 2 fabric is this great little print with the almost like wild grass or something like that growing on it. And that's going to be here in our background, which is going to get our pinwheels to pop, which is our number 3 fabric, that really dark fabric that's in there. So this is really a neat design that we have with this one.
I love it.
This one is called Woodland Dusk, and its number is 8022086. And again, it's using that pinwheel pattern out of the Quilt Favorites book.
This would look great in a brown recliner.
It would.
And I bet there's a few of those out there somewhere.
Or maybe with the dog sitting on it.
That too. Okay, this one is pretty simple. Pretty simple is, I'm getting all the big block ones today to share with you. This has an alternating block, and you can either use a more subdued fabric here, or you could show off a double focus once again, and then it's sashed by the 3rd color. So let's put this up here, and do we have any train aficionados out there? I think this is great. Look at this train
is really
fabric.
Cool. I mean, I know that there's a lot of dads out there that collect old model trains and get into the RC and hoe scale trains and all of that stuff. So this would be a great one for that dad.
I know more than one man that actually has the train, what do they call that scale that they put in their backyard, and they have tunnels and
I don't know what that scale is, but
yeah, do you know what that scale is for the trains that you can build in the backyards, like an O or something like that? But I have actually seen them where the trains have their own garage and they go through mountains and across streams and things like that. It's fascinating to see. So if you have a train collector of whichever size or shape, this is very, very interesting. You've got your engines here. Is that what you call them, engines?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Those go here in the number 1 spot. Then you have your paraphernalia. You've got your conductor caps. You've got your railroad crossings, bandanas, hats, things like that. That'll go in the number 2 spot. And the number 3 has this great gear fabric that goes with this. I like this a lot. Are those gears or are those the actual wheels?
Well, these are actually what I would call gears out of a pocket watch that a conductor or I guess a conductor would have. So
I just got it because it matches the blues.
That's it. That's a great thing. I mean, because the conductors always had that pocket watch, and they're keeping track of what time it is, and keep everybody on schedule.
You need to listen to this man. He's a dad, and that's why we had him on this show. Now we have this great rendering that I hope you can enjoy looking at this particular one with those fabrics in place. And this one is called Locomotion 8022172. And the pattern is pretty simple. It's either in Quilt Favorites or in an individual pattern.
So that's a great one. So our next one is called Byzantine Door, and this is another big block that's got 2 focus fabrics on it and then the nice sashing around it. While this is a great one for that, let's put this up on the table and show you a great baseball, because I mean, what dad doesn't love baseball or football or hockey or all of the sports?
Well, I have to say, I know plenty of women that are big fans. Aunt Carolyn and your cousin Becky.
That's true.
Oh man,
that
they are glued to the Atlanta Braves.
That would be that, yeah.
Oh,
the Atlanta Braves.
So
hopefully that's right.
You can see that I'm from Texas, and I'm not sure what their team is called, but I know that they're watching them through thick and thin.
And, you know, here we are probably in the first part of the season this year. So this will be a great one to get made up and ready for the World Series.
All right.
As it starts getting a little bit cooler into the fall. So we've got this great baseball print, and we again have 2 focus fabrics on this. So we're going to have our baseball players out here in all of these different positions. We've got the catcher, we've got batters, we've got runners, and all of these different characters in this. That's going to be in our number 1 block. And then our number 2 fabric is this great one with all of the baseball gear, the hats, the bats, the protective padding for the catchers and all of that. And this is a great one for that. And then our number 3 fabric is this awesome little red that's going to really get in here and get all of this to pop out and just be a gorgeous pattern that's done with our Byzantine door
I like
pattern.
that one.
So this one is called America's Pastime, obviously. Great name for that. And then the number is 8022173, and that's Byzantine door once again. And that's also found in our Quick and Easy book.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I think a lot of y'all know after watching us so many times that I'm a crazy cat lady, but we're going to talk about crazy cat guys today. And this is the pattern that we've fixed. It has these, we've picked, and this is the cool cats. And they're, if you're into music, perfect cats, music, they all go together. And it's got these great little notes here. So let's put this up here and look at the fabric up close. This is just so cute. Robert is definitely a crazy cat man. I give him t-shirts all the time, and he's got some great ones. You know, he is a scientist. He loves to build things, and he loves cats. So I like to find the cat shirts that have cats with scientific kind of things. Oh, and he also flies airplanes. So that one I got where he has the cat with the call letters and the flight helmet on. Oh, we've had so much fun finding.
Well, it's funny. He was actually in the shop this morning, and he had on one of those cat pictures. It's like a heart.
The heartbeat.
The EKG, and it's got the little profile of a cat's ears on it. It's just adorable.
So if you have a crazy cat guy in your life, like I have in my life, this would be perfect. The musical instruments, the cool cats playing the drums, the guitars. I mean, this is just such a cool cat fabric.
This almost might be a fabric that Patricia would like.
Oh, yes. Yes, Patricia is his wife, and she loves music and cats. And you see her a lot of times with her headphones on listening to her music.
Exactly.
And then this is the number 2 fabric. Number 1 is going here. Number 2 will actually border this one, and this is where you need to get a good high contrast. So we put the lightest fabric in the number 1 spot here, and then we bordered it with the number 2 fabric, but we picked a darker fabric so there would be contrast. So keep that in mind when you're picking your fabrics. Focus fabric, and then you want your number 2 to high contrast with your other 3, and this is your darkest. It will go here. So this one is called Jam Session. Park Place is your pattern. Fast and Fun is your book. And it comes as an individual or in the book. And we've shown you lots of really fun quilts today.
We have. I mean, I think we've got such a wide variety of great new fabrics in the shop now to really give, you know, some options for all your guys. So, you know, get out there and check out all of those at fabriccafe.com. And you know, be sure to look at all of the options that we've got there. So some really nice.
And let's show them this great pattern collection we have. This is a top 10 pattern bundle. It has great patterns to make for the dads in your life if you want to do a little stash busting. But do remember that whenever you purchase any kit, you get 1 pattern free with every kit.
Exactly.
So you can take the bundle and then pick other patterns for your freebies. So you really get a good deal there.
Yeah, this is really a great deal with all of those, you know, our top patterns in it.
So we want to invite you to subscribe to our channel, click the little bell, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you like and what you're looking for, and we will keep our eyes open for some great fabrics for you. So this is Donna Robertson.
And John Nossel with Fabric Cafe.
Thanks for watching.